My CEO stole our $5,000 Christmas bonuses to donate to a charity that didn't exist. He thought he was a genius for creating a tax write-off that paid his wife a salary. He forgot that before I was a senior systems engineer, I was a forensic accountant for the state. I didn't just quit. I turned his generosity into a federal prison sentence. The air in the conference room smelled like desperation and expensive cologne. It was December 23rd. Outside, the Seattle rain was doing its best to wash the city into the Puget Sound, but inside the glass-walled aquarium of Omni Tech Solutions, the mood was supposed to be festive. We had just closed the biggest quarter in company history. We had shipped Project Ether, a cloud integration platform that, if I'm being honest, was held together by duct tape and my own insomnia, but it had sold for millions to a defense contractor. I sat at the mahogany table spinning a pen between my fingers. I was tired, not the I need a nap kind of tired, the kind of tired that settles in your marrow and makes your eyelids feel like they are made of lead. I had worked 21 days straight, no weekends, no evenings. I had missed my niece's play. I had missed my own anniversary dinner, eating a vending machine sandwich at my desk while my wife ate alone at a steakhouse. But it was going to be worth it. Sterling, our CEO, had promised us. "We are a family," he had said in November, flashing teeth that cost more than my car. "If we hit the targets for Ether, the profit sharing will be life-changing." We did the math. Based on the revenue, the life-changing bonus was calculated to be around $5,000 per head for the engineering team. For some of the junior devs, that was rent. For me, it was the down payment on the cabin my wife and I had been dreaming about for 5 years. It was the apology money for the last month of neglect. Sterling walked in. He was wearing a suit that shimmered slightly under the fluorescent lights, some Italian silk blend that probably couldn't be dry-cleaned in this hemisphere. He looked rested. He looked tanned. He had spent the crunch week in Cabo while we were debugging server clusters at 3 a.m. "Team," Sterling boomed, spreading his arms like he was about to hug the entire room. "Warriors, visionaries, family." He paused for effect. I saw Mike, our lead UI designer, roll his eyes so hard I thought they might detach. "We did it," Sterling continued, his voice dropping to a theatrical whisper. "We changed the landscape of cloud computing. The board is ecstatic. The shareholders are popping champagne." Great, I thought, cut the check. But Sterling said, and the air in the room shifted. It got colder. Success isn't just about money. It's about legacy. It's about impact. It's about looking at the world and saying, "We gave back." My stomach tightened. I knew that tone. That was the tone of a man about to pivot. "I know we discussed profit sharing," Sterling said, walking around the table making eye contact with each of us. "And believe me, the profits are there. But as I was sitting on the beach in Cabo, reflecting on the year, I realized that giving you a check is temporary. Money is fleeting, but doing good, that lasts forever." He signaled to his assistant, a terrified 20-something named Chloe, who scurried forward with a stack of heavy, cream-colored envelopes. "I decided to make an executive decision," Sterling beamed. "This year, in lieu of cash bonuses, Omni Tech has made a substantial donation in your names." The silence in the room was absolute. It was the silence of a bomb squad watching a timer hit 0. "I have established the Sterling Foundation for Global Connectivity," he announced, puffing out his chest. "A nonprofit dedicated to bringing internet awareness to underprivileged communities. Each of you has had $5,000 donated in your name. You will receive a card acknowledging your contribution to the greater good." Chloe placed an envelope in front of me. I stared at it. $5,000 gone. "This is better than money," Sterling said, oblivious to the murderous energy radiating from the engineering team. "This is virtue. This is the Omni Tech way. Merry Christmas, everyone. Now get out of here early. It's 3 p.m. Go be with your families." He turned and breezed out of the room, checking his Rolex. I didn't move. I looked at Mike. Mike looked at Sarah. Sarah looked like she was about to flip the table. He donated our money, Mike whispered. I have credit card debt from this month. I bought my kids presents assuming that check was coming. He donated it to himself, I said. My voice was quiet, but in the silent room it carried. What? Sarah asked. The Sterling Foundation, I repeated. He didn't donate to the Red Cross. He didn't donate to Doctors Without Borders. He donated to a foundation with his own name on it. I picked up the envelope. I ripped it open. Inside was a glossy card stock with a stock photo of a child holding a tablet. A donation of $5,000 has been made in the name of David Miller to the Sterling Foundation. Thank you for changing the world. I flipped the card over. There was a QR code and a website URL. I'm going to kill him, Mike said, standing up. I'm going to walk into his office and I'm going to throw this monitor through the window. Sit down, Mike, I said. Sit down. David, he stole $5,000 from us. He stole Christmas. I know, I said. I pulled my laptop out of my bag. I opened the lid. The screen glowed, reflecting in my glasses. Don't get mad, Mike, get even. How? Sarah asked. We signed arbitration agreements. We're at-will employees. He can cut bonuses if he wants. It's discretionary. It's discretionary if he keeps the money, I said, typing furiously. But he didn't keep it. He donated it. And if he donated it to a charity he controls, and if that charity isn't operating strictly by the book, well, that's not a management decision. That's tax fraud. I looked up at my team. They were the best engineers I knew. We had built systems that could track a single packet of data across 3 continents in milliseconds. We knew how to find things. I used to work for the state auditor's office before I got into tech, I told them, a fact I had never shared before. I know what a shell company looks like, and I know exactly where to look. I connected to the guest Wi-Fi, never shit where you eat, and pulled up the IRS tax-exempt organization search tool. Let's see what the Sterling Foundation is really about, I said. I typed in the name, the Sterling Foundation for Global Connectivity. It popped up, 501c, 3 status approved 6 months ago. That was fast, suspiciously fast. Okay, I muttered. Show me the 990EZ. The Form 990 is the tax return that nonprofits have to file. It's public record. If you know how to read it, it's a diary of secrets. Since the charity was new. There wasn't a full year of history, but there was the initial filing and the incorporation documents. Found it, I said. The team gathered behind my chair. Look at the board of directors, I pointed. President Richard Sterling. Vice President Vanessa Sterling. Treasurer Preston Sterling. That's his wife and his son, Sarah said. His son is 19, he's a DJ. Exactly, I said. Now look at the registered address. I punched the address into Google Maps. It wasn't an office. It wasn't a community center. It was a residential address in the Hamptons. That's his beach house, Mike spat. I saw photos of it on his Instagram. He's running a charity out of his vacation home. It gets better, I said. I dug deeper into the stated mission and the projected budget. The foundation claimed its mission was consulting and advisory services for digital literacy. That was vague enough to mean anything, but the expenses, that was where the art was. They had listed administrative costs at 85% of the projected budget. 85%, Sarah asked, is that normal? No, I said. A good charity runs on 10% to 15% overhead. 85% means for every dollar we donated, 85 cents goes to the staff. And who is the staff? I found a filing for contracted services. The foundation had a contract with VS Interiors and Lifestyle for office space management and event planning. VS, I said. Vanessa Sterling. His wife is an interior designer. He's paying his wife's company to manage the beach house that the charity is registered at. So, Mike said, his voice trembling with rage. He took our bonus money. He moved it to a tax-exempt charity so the company gets a write-off. Then the charity pays his wife's company for services, effectively moving the money right back into his own pocket tax-free. It's a wash cycle, I said. He's laundering our bonuses. He gets the tax deduction for the company, he looks like a philanthropist, and he keeps the money in the family. And we get a piece of card stock. Is it illegal? Sarah asked. Self-dealing, I laughed. It's the fastest way to lose your nonprofit status and go to federal prison. The IRS hates this. They hate it more than murder. I sat back. The anger was gone, replaced by a cold, hard resolve. What do we do? Mike asked. Do we sue? Suing takes years, I said. And he has lawyers on retainer. No, we don't sue, we report, but first, we make him hurt. I looked at the clock, 3:45 p.m. He said to go home, right? I asked. He said family is important. Yeah, Mike said. Okay, here is the plan. We are the only ones who know how ETHA works. The documentation is, let's call it sparse, because we were too busy building it to write the manuals. Sterling fired the technical writers last month to save money. Right, Sarah said. So I said, we all quit today, effective immediately. Quit, Mike said. I have a mortgage. We quit, I repeated. And we file for unemployment citing constructive dismissal due to wage theft. The bonus was promised verbally. We have the Slack logs where he called it guaranteed compensation in October. But more importantly, we report him to the IRS as whistleblowers. The IRS pays whistleblowers, I added. 15 to 30% of the collected taxes and penalties. If he's been doing this with other funds, and guys like this always are, the penalty could be in the millions. But if we quit, the system crashes, Sarah said. The servers need manual rebalancing every 48 hours or the cache overflows. Exactly, I smiled. Merry Christmas to us. We spent the next hour drafting our resignation letters. They were identical. Dear Sterling, effective immediately, I am resigning from my position at Omni Tech. The unilateral decision to divert my compensation to a personal charity constitutes a breach of trust. I will be forwarding all relevant details to the appropriate authorities. Regards. Name. We didn't send them yet, we waited. I pulled up the IRS Form 211, Application for Award for Original Information. I filled it out with the precision of a surgeon. I attached the screenshots of the charity website, the 990 forms, the link to the wife's interior design business, and the property records of the beach house. I connected the dots so clearly a child could see the fraud. Okay, I said at 4:55 p.m. Send the emails. We hit send simultaneously, 12 senior engineers. Then we stood up. We left our laptops on our desks. We didn't clean up. We didn't say goodbye to the receptionist. We walked out of the building into the rain and went to the bar across the street. We ordered a round of the most expensive whiskey they had. We put it on the company card. Technically, we were employees until 5:00 p.m. The phone calls started at 5:15 p.m. First it was Chloe, the assistant. Then it was the CTO, a guy named Marcus who was actually decent but spineless. Then, finally, Sterling. I watched my phone buzz on the bar top, Sterling calling. I let it ring. It rang again and again. I picked up on the 5th try. Dave, Sterling screamed. What the hell is going on? I have 12 resignation emails in my inbox. Is this a joke? Is this some kind of union stunt? It's not a stunt, Sterling, I said, taking a sip of whiskey. It's a donation. What? We decided to donate our labor to the free market. We felt that working for you was temporary but self-respect. That lasts forever. You listen to me, Sterling hissed. You can't just walk out. The Ether launch is in beta with the client. If the servers go down, we are in breach of contract. I will sue you for everything you have. You can't sue us for quitting, Sterling. We're at-will employees. Remember, you made us sign that clause so you could fire us easier. I'll fix this, he stammered. Okay, look, you made your point. I'll write the checks. I'll cut the bonuses. Come back tomorrow. No, I said. Double, he said. I'll double the bonuses. $10,000, just come back. It's not about the money anymore, I said. It's about the legacy. You wanted to make an impact, Sterling. You wanted to give back. Well, you're about to give back a lot, specifically to the Internal Revenue Service. There was a silence on the line, the kind of silence where you can hear a person's heart stop. What did you do? He whispered. I used to be a forensic auditor, Sterling. Did you know that? Did you ever read my resume? Dave. I looked at the foundation, Sterling. I saw the administrative costs. I saw the payments to Vanessa's company. I saw the beach house address. And I sent it all to the IRS whistleblower office about 20 minutes ago. You're lying. Check your email. I CC'd you on the submission. I hung up. We ordered another round. The next 3 days were a slow-motion car crash. It was beautiful. Without the engineering team. The Ether platform began to wobble. The cache cleared, but the rebalancing scripts didn't run. The latency spiked. The defense contractor client called, furious. Sterling tried to hire freelancers, but our code was proprietary and, frankly, a mess. You couldn't just drop a freelancer into it. It took years to understand the architecture. By December 26th, the system crashed, hard. The client canceled the contract. Omnitech's stock, which was private but valued on the secondary market, plummeted. But the real show happened on January 4th. I was at home, enjoying my unemployment, when I got a text from Chloe. She had quit too, but she still had friends in the building. Chloe, they are here. Me who? Chloe, FBI, IRS. They are raiding his office, taking boxes. I turned on the local news. There it was. Footage of agents in windbreakers carrying out computers from the Omnitech building. And then the shot of Sterling. He wasn't wearing his shimmering Italian suit. He was wearing a rumpled button-down, and he was handcuffed. He looked at the camera, and for a second he looked terrified. He looked like a man who realized that he wasn't the smartest person in the room. The investigation didn't just find the charity fraud. Once they opened the books, they found everything. He had been inflating revenue numbers to secure loans. He had been using company funds to pay for his cars, his vacations, his life. The charity was just the tip of the iceberg. It was the thread that unraveled the whole sweater. Omnitech filed for bankruptcy a month later. The assets were liquidated. Because I was the primary whistleblower, and because the fraud was substantial, over $10 million in total tax evasion and wire fraud over 5 years, my cut was significant. It took 2 years for the payout to process. The government moved slow, but when the check arrived, it wasn't for $5,000. It was for $450,000. I bought the cabin. I bought it in cash. I heard Sterling got 5 years in federal prison. His wife got probation and had to pay back every cent consulted to her. They lost the beach house. They lost the mansion. Sometimes I think about that Christmas card, the glossy photo of the kid with the tablet. Sterling was right about one thing. That donation did change the world. It made the world a place with one less greedy, arrogant CEO. And as I sit on the porch of my cabin, drinking coffee and watching the sun rise over the mountains, I have to admit, it really is better to give than to receive, especially when what you're giving is evidence to the feds. Merry Christmas, Sterling. If you have made it this far and want to see more videos like this, then kindly subscribe and turn on notifications so you may never miss another story like this.